Hey, Shalom, this your brother Yawanathan.
Shalom, Mr. Brother Aina.
Yeah, privileged to have a brother on here today. Want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity, all right? May the blessing of election be upon your house. Today, we're going to go into the fake merit amongst our people. You have a lot of people who are in leadership positions. You have a lot of people who seemingly have wisdom, but it's not rooted in the things of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So it's all going to come to naught. And those that hearken unto those people, they're gonna reap that same fate. We went into a little bit yesterday at camp. But you have any opening statements you want to make, brother, before we get into these precepts?
we can go ahead and flow through the spirit, brother. I believe we got some precepts lined up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually have the definition for the word merit. Okay. And when you look up that word merit, it says spiritual credit for good works. And that's what we see. We want a spiritual credit for these good works, a spiritual reward, wages, pay, reward, thanks. And you look up the verb, look it up as a verb, it says, much of the same thing. To be entitled to, be or become deserving of, earn a right to incur a liability, So the first precept I want to read, we're going to go to Matthew, the 23rd chapter, because you got a lot of people who outwardly, they seem like, they're pursuing righteousness, they're men of the Lord. But inwardly, that's not the case. And we're seeing that being made manifest, especially right now as all these end time prophecies are playing out.
Did you want me to read, bro? I can read, or if you saying you're showing on the screen? Okay.
I'll read this one and you break it down.
Okay.
This is Matthew, the 23rd chapter and the 25th verse. It says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess."
Mm-hmm. Right. So the wicked scribes and Pharisees were the people that were coming against Yahushua, the same people that today are, coming up against the doctrine. And we see that time and time again, man. The example that we went into camp yesterday with, the IUIC dudes talking about, Chris Rock should get revenge on Will Smith by committing adultery, with his wife and all this madness, man. They come off as righteous and as if they got it.
You would think they got it. They got the military outfits, those big ass boots. They in that militant spirit, and you'll think, whoa, these guys, they're standing up for our people when they're not. They're telling our people to pursue ways that lead them to death. They love death, and we'll bring out that precept too. And I'll finish reading this for you, brother. Matthew 23 and 26. It says, "Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and the platter, that the outside of them may be clean also."
Yep. So you have to be transformed by the renewing of your mind, man. You have to really, truly be washed, mentally, brainwashed in a good way, to the point where, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is able to sup with you, man.
Yeah, brainwash is not brainwash isn't a bad word. They say it in the world like it's a bad word. Our brains are clean. Theirs is dirty. We've been actually quickened by the word, like it says in Ephesians. Slacky, brother.
No, you're good. Yeah, well, the scriptures say that wisdom is not going to dwell in a malicious soul. It's not going to be appealing to that soul either. It's going to be like friction. That's why you got 2/3 of Jake walking down the street. They hear this word, which is life, but they despise it, because it cuts them, man.
That's right. All right, continuing on for you. Verse 27. "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are," and hypocrites is synonymous with unbelievers.
Yeah.
For ye are like.
Salaki, brother, that word hypocrite, when you go into it, it means an actor, like in the Greek, like they're acting like they're righteous.
They acting like they believe, like they're about righteousness, but they're not.
Yeah,
they're hypocrite. Yeah,
you got it.
Beautiful. Dang, I wish if my internet wasn't so slow, I'll pull it up on the blue letter. But you just screenshot them because
Well, you know what? I can screen share because I want to go into another word too on this deal. If
let's
you don't
do it,
mind.
man. Let's do it.
Okay. There's Matthew 23, right? Let me go.
Yep.
Okay. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick.
Yeah, man.
Give me 1 second, Salakia.
And shalom to everybody here on the comment board.
God. Shalom.
Oh, shalom,
okay.
Adam, not to Zakba.
Yeah. God. Yeah. Okay. Can you see my screen here?
Yeah, I see it, but it's okay. There it goes. It's good now. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What verse were we at?
We're in Matthew 23 and I believe like 27.
Okay. Yeah, here we go. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so it says Matthew 23 and 27. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites. And this is Yahushua speaking. For ye are like unto whited sepulchres. But let's get that word hypocrites real quick, if you don't mind. Hypocrites. Here we go. Strong's G 5273. Hippocrates. It says, let me see here. An actor, the second definition. I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit. An actor, a stage player.
Yo, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? That's why I said yesterday, I was like, yo, these guys are like parody Israelite groups, man. They don't really take the truth of Yahweh Shem Yahushua seriously.
That's right.
You know?
That's on point.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to the verse. In the middle, I'll read verse 27 again. It says, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whited sepulchres. And then, it's good to know what is a sepulcher, right? So go back to the Greek. I'm a fan of getting the words, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got to get the words.
Because basically, what we're doing is we have to teach, brothers how to look up words themselves and get the understanding, on particular words that may not be in your vocabulary. So
it expands your understanding as well.
Yeah, that's right. So Strong's G 5028 Taphos, and I'm gonna hand it back to you after this. A grave, a burial, or a sepulcher, a place of interment or a tomb,
like a casket.
Yeah, exactly. Like you go to the graveyard, you see those big, big buildings, but it has the grave, it has the actual casket in it.
Yeah.
So that's, it looks nice, right? It looks like it's a nice, probably spent thousands of dollars on it.
But it's full of death.
Yeah, exactly.
It's full of death.
That's it.
And people spend, it's just for those, the relative terms in this time, you go spend all that money on the pearly casket, but it's full of a dead person. That's the spirit isn't in there anymore. It's just flesh and carnality and destruction inside.
Yep. I'm gonna finish the verse. It says, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanness.
That's right.
So like you just said, bro, a lot of people appear like they're righteous and all these things, but come on, man. We see what's going on in the midst of the congregation. It's being exposed.
Yeah, and it's being made manifest. So when a guy gets in front of his congregation and says, oh, he should fuck the shit out of so-and-so's wife, that's blatantly against the word. So that's why it says in 28. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, verse 28. Even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity.
Perpetual sin upon sin. And it's being made manifest in the things that you're saying and in the things that you're doing. So the Lord is making a clear distinction between who he's actually using to warn the people and who he's not. That's what's going on here. All right. And we have to go on this. We have to call, because that's a part of our job. We have to highlight the distinction. We have to shine a spotlight on these things. I also wanted to because I want to bring out the fact that they love death. So if you can on yours go to Proverbs 8 and you can start at 32. You don't got to start at 32. You can get straight to the point.
Okay. This is Proverbs chapter 8, and it's all good. I'll go for verse 32. Proverbs 8:32. Now therefore hearken unto me, O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways.
These are the way. This is the pathway to life. This is a pathway to escape the destruction. We've been telling you time that places in America is going to be destroyed. This whole system, this society, the way it's established, the principles that it's founded upon are going to be dismantled, eviscerated. How do you evade it and not get caught up in it? Like it says in Zephaniah 2:3, seek righteousness, seek meekness, so that you may be hidden in the day of the Lord's anger. Walking in the Lord's ways is how you get hid. It's how you get, you put out of the way of the destruction. But you got your leaders who are telling you to do things like commit adultery, who are telling you not to call on the name when the name is a strong tower, the righteous runneth into it and is safe. They're disarming you. They're setting you up for the kill, man. And we're trying to tell you, but who is going to be for us, up to the Lord, because the Lord has to ultimately choose to open someone's understanding.
Con. That's right. It says, verse 33, hear instruction and be wise and refuse it not.
And a lot of times instruction is gonna come rough. Elder Rakah, we had after class the other day, this past weekend, he was talking about his encounters with the angels, and it was beautiful. It lifted up all of our spirits. When the angels come, or when instruction comes from the Lord, often the time it's gonna come rough. It's not gonna make you feel good all the time, but that's what our people seek. They want the message. They want to just feel good. They want to please the flesh. This thing is about actually denying the flesh.
Right. Yep. And that goes back to that merit. They're being entitled to things that really is causing them death. Really is leading to their demise and bringing down their spiritual awareness. And that's what Esau wants. They want you to spend all your time idolizing things that mean absolutely nothing, so they can continue to exploit your labor.
Yeah.
But Jake doesn't realize that.
Yeah. And you're exactly right. That's what they want. And that's why the scripture also calls them the accuser of the brethren, because they lay these snares for you. They put this wine upon the people, and they say, well, look at your people, Lord. We're justified in doing these things to them. Well, go ahead, brother.
Verse 34, Proverbs 8:34. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the posts of my doors.
The leadership. And the Lord, who does he reveal his secrets unto? The servants, the prophets. Amos 3:7.
Right? Man, everybody calls you when you're doing a lesson.
Yes, I be.
Is that it on that? Or no, there's some more. Okay. This is Proverbs chapter 8:35. It says, for whoso findeth me findeth life and shall obtain favor. Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
No, that's it. I was just saying that's right.
Yeah. God, it says, whoso findeth me findeth life and shall obtain favor of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And this is a spirit, because I think you probably pulled this up because I quoted it often in verse 36. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All that hate me love death. And I quoted this last night. It's a straight cold cut to people that basically don't want to hear the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Yeah, they're not going to get that favor in the time of calamity and destruction.
That's right. So obviously that's the point on that. So did you want me to get another precept, or I could stop sharing the screen? You want to go back to sharing what you had?
Also wanted to back that up, just to hop on over to Proverbs 10.
Okay. Okay, I'll go ahead and get that then.
And if you have anything, man, just get it.
Well, this is all fire, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all good stuff. Because you're getting ones that I would quote anyway. Let me see.
The point said, but you can start at the top.
Okay, yeah. This is Proverbs chapter 10, verse 1. It says, the Proverbs of Solomon, a wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother. Verse 2, treasures of wickedness profit nothing.
Treasures of wickedness profit nothing. Now, what I want you to notice is, when you look at a lot of these other congregations, there's a lot of money coming in and out. Okay, now we tithe amongst ourselves. That's not something we require of our congregations. We're not charging for t-shirts and this and that, because what happens is things get corrupted, things get skewed. Our primary focus is the edification and walking uprightly, becoming the new man. But that's not the focus with a lot of these other congregations. We're in a war. But these people that they're in the spirit of mirth, does that add up? The Lord says that there's a time and a season, everything. This isn't the time right before the return for you to be in the spirit of mirth.
God. Yep.
But these a lot of Salakia.
No, I mean you got it, brother.
Yeah, a lot of our apostle elders told us, man, even going back to the old one West. A lot of these guys have taken the bag, man. And that, you think now that that's changed? You think it's changed now? A lot of these guys have taken the bag. That's why they push the things that they push. Go ahead, brother.
God. It says, treasures, verse 2, treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death.
Yeah, this is the true riches that you want to pursue. This is you're going to be delivered from death. Those guys who took the bag, it's all going to come out. Like when you go to 2 Peter's, man. Seeing then that this place shall be dissolved. What manner of persons are you be in all holy conversation and godliness? This place is going to be destroyed. It's fool's gold. You know?
That's it. And that's what people don't understand. It's a trap and a snare. Matter of fact, since we're in Proverbs 10, let me just get Psalms 10 real quick. Let me see here. It's a good. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna just read through real quick. I'm gonna just go ahead and read through like 3 or 4 verses. So Psalms chapter 10, verse 3: For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom Yahweh abhorreth. So a lot of these people, and this is talking about Esau, but 2/3 of our people are wicked too, man. Yahweh Shai said that in John 8:44, "Ye are of your father the devil." He was talking to wicked Jake, but they bless the covetous, people that basically are overly greedy. They call righteousness evil and evil good, man. But the Lord hates those people. It says, verse 4, "The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them." So a lot of our own people, get the spirit of Esau on them, thinking that they can't be taken down, that the Most High not going to judge them. But that goes back to Ezekiel 13. False prophets teaching our people that everything is going to be okay and peace.
At 1 Thessalonians 5.
Yeah, exactly. And let me drop down to verse 8. It says, and it's the point here, "He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor." Yeah, so pretty much setting up traps, setting up ways to snare our own people. This is talking about Esau, but 2/3 of our own people do that too.
Yeah, they're sidekicks to Esau's agenda. At the end of the day, that's a lot of the Pharisees. A lot of the Pharisees, what they were like, he's gonna take away. The Romans are gonna take away our place, and in kingdom. I mean, in nation, because they were pushing. They were for, their station within the society that the Romans had established.
God, let me get this last one, or okay, if you don't mind. God, it says he lieth in wait. Verse 9: "He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net." So these snares and traps that Esau be setting up, Jake looks and sees, oh wow, I can capitalize off selling my own people out too. Yeah. And that goes back during the Grecian Empire. You know?
That's right. Hey, you mentioned the book of Titus yesterday. When Paul was writing that letter to Titus, he even quoted one of the Cretians, because that's the island that Titus was in. He even quoted one of the famous Cretians at the time. Could you just go to it? It's Titus 1. It's like verse like 10, 12 or something like that.
Let me see. I think I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Oh, damn, I stopped sharing my screen. Hold on. Pull this up real quick again.
Okay.
Share screen. No, I got it. I got it. It's right here. It's all good. Okay. Yeah, Titus 1. Let me see.
You sharing everything.
You said what?
There you go. I said you were sharing everything for a second.
Oh, for real? My bad.
You good? You good?
Yeah. Okay. Titus 1 and outside of verse 10, right?
Starts like 10. Let's start. Can you scroll up? I can't see.
Yeah, kind of.
Scroll up a little bit. Oh yeah. Just start. You might as well just read through
verse 10, right?
Because the leadership in the churches in Crete, they were
verse 5.
Yeah, you can start there. It's fine.
Okay, and then I'll drop down. This is Titus chapter 1 verse 5. It says, "For this cause I left thee in Crete," which the island of Crete is something you can Google today. You know, it's in the Mediterranean. It's an island in the Mediterranean.
It's a major trading hub for that whole region, because all the countries they can just flow through that area. So it's a big trading hub, especially back then during that time.
God, it says that thou shouldest set in order the things that are wanting, and ordain elders in every city, as I had appointed thee.
Yeah, because the people that were over these little smaller churches, man, they were wicked. They were given to bribes. They were all these different things they were going into, man. They appeared godly on the outside, but inwardly they were full of dead man's bones.
That's right. Verse 6. If any be blameless, well, matter of fact, hold on, let me drop down, because we actually brought out some of these points recently, but I'm gonna go down to verse 10. Okay. This is Titus chapter 1 verse 10. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision. Shit talkers, basically, man. It's the same thing today. People that think it's like they think that they know so much because they know a little bit. Matter of fact, I gotta get this one. I gotta get this one scripture, bro. I'm sorry.
Those same spirits are back. Those same spirits are back here today, man. Where is my Why you get that, brother? I gotta find something really quick. Hold on.
Okay, I'll break it down. It's all good. Take your time. This is Matthew chapter 25, verse 29. Matter of fact, I like the other one better. I feel like it's even more. Yeah. But you know what? Let me just get this one. Matthew 25 and 29. For unto everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. So everybody that has the spirit of humility, is coming in the spirit of repentance, he's going to be given more responsibility. He's going to be given more understanding to be able to make proper decisions. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. Okay, the man that doesn't have the spirit of the Lord, that doesn't have humility, he's gonna take those responsibilities are gonna be taken away from him. That understanding is gonna be taken away from him. But I want to get the specific one. That's the one I want. Luke 8 and 18. It was worded just a little bit differently. This is Luke 8 and 18. It says, actually, I'll start at verse 17. It says, for nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest. And a lot of stuff is being brought out to the forefront, man. Because we're reading in Titus 1, It, talking about the circumcision, man. There's many unruly and vain talkers, and the more we pay attention to Israel and see their actions and deeds, the more we see that a lot of Israelites that know that they're Israelites are really the worst people walking on the earth.
Yeah.
They got the most demons on them. That's why it says, and I'm gonna go back to the Luke, but we doing Hebrew hopscotch today for vocab Malone. Titus 1:11, whose mouths must be stopped.
We stopped.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, we gotta, like, that's why we like immediate intervention. Like, yo, hold on, you going off on this, man. You gotta chill. That fake merit. They think that they're entitled to just say whatever the hell they want to say.
Yeah.
But it says they subvert whole houses. They basically putting entire households at risk of being destroyed by leading them into the way of death. Teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake, like you said, taking a bag, trying to trying to basically come up off you. That's the shit Esau does, man. But I'm gonna finish the point in Luke 8, and then I'll let you got it, bro. Luke,
hey, no problem. Go ahead.
Is my screen still sharing?
Yeah, your screen sharing.
Okay, cool. All right. Luke chapter 8 and 18. It says, take heed therefore how ye hear, for whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken even that which he seemeth to have.
Seemeth.
Yeah, that's the key. That's the key one that I was looking for, because you think that you have it, you think that you got it, you think that you really got it just because you got a little drop or a little crumb of the of the truth. The Most High can take that away from you in a millisecond, man. To where it's like you never even had it, man. To where you scoffing at the own stuff that you was preaching.
Looking through carnal eyes, it seems like they got it going on. It seemed like the Lord dealing with them. They got big congregation. Looking through carnal eyes, but through the Spirit, we know that these men are off, and their fall is going to be great. So even what they seem to have is going to be stripped from them, man. And those who really got it, who spiritually looking at it, people that cause the bum camp, they cause all these different things. Somebody would be subject to believe it, the Lord give them south. But what's going to happen is the true men are going to be made as fine as gold, because those men are going to be the hiding place from the wind when all goes to shit.
That's right. When sugar turns to shit.
I wanted to go back to Titus 1, but after that I do want to go to Isaiah 33 down.
I'm still sharing my screen, right? You can see, you should be able to see.
Yep. You can still see the screen. Got it right here.
Okay. All right. So Titus 1 and 12, it says, one of themselves, even a prophet of their own, said the Cretans are always.
So when this is a man that Paul is quoting that is known amongst the Cretans, respected, so to speak, and he's telling you about his own people, how they get down.
Yeah, it says it in the commentaries. I looked it up before. It was basically like one of their, poets and all that stuff, basically.
Yeah, like a poet, somebody of high esteem in their society. Pick your favorite celebrity that goes on a little rant.
Yeah,
this time.
Yeah. It says one of themselves, that's a good comparison right there. One of themselves, even a prophet of their own, said, the Cretans are always liars, evil beasts, slow bellies.
Yeah, man, they're gluttonous, and that's twofold, because these niggas they're spiritually they're just spiritually they're dead. One, spiritually dead, and two, man, they do everything in hopes of receiving some kind of carnal gratification from it. Money, recognition, vainglory. When you see the things that these leaders of these congregations are doing, you got to ask yourself, what would be somebody's motivation of presenting things this way, in this light? Why would you have a Passover to where you're bringing out men of the Lord like a starting five, and then say these are the top men in Israel? Why would you be doing that right now at this time? Because you seek vainglory, you seek recognition.
Man, 25-pound garments.
Yeah, 25.
Bulletproof Iron Man garments on, man.
Them garments look heavy. Hey,
yeah, man.
Hey, man, you know them garments. You know that costs some money, man.
Yeah. Well, you know the point of it, like no, it's like go ahead. What you gonna say, bro?
They all color coordinated. Every event they go to, everything they have, they all color coordinated. Yeah. You know they oh my goodness. Go ahead, brother.
Anyway, I don't even gotta say shit about that, man. We already know what it is. Yeah, but either way, because it's nothing wrong with a cool garment, bro. There's nothing wrong with a cool garment, but you ceremonializing a solemn assembly, man. You sensationalizing a solemn,
Right. You're decorating the straight gate, 1. 2, you're putting that in the forefront of your ministry. So those who are learning, they think that's what this is about. So now they're confused about how they're supposed to walk their conduct within this thing.
Yeah. Anyway, man. Did you want more on that, or is that the point on Titus?
Oh yeah, go to Isaiah 33. Isaiah 33 and 13.
Okay. Pull this up real quick. Isaiah chapter 33, verse 13. It says, "Hear ye that are afar off what I have done, and ye that are near acknowledge my might. Mm-hmm. The sinners of Zion are afraid. Fearfulness hath surprised the hypocrites."
This is what's going to happen even in this time to those who are what? Those hypocrites, those people that look good on the outside, but inwardly they're full of dead man's bones. I'm going to keep saying that. Go ahead, brother.
It says, the sinners of Zion are afraid. Fearfulness hath surprised the hypocrites, the actors, the stage performers. That was beautiful definition. It said, let that come to mind. Let whoever come to mind that fits that description come to mind. Right. Okay. Who among us shall dwell with the devouring fire? Who among us shall dwell with everlasting burnings? And there's some people amongst the congregation, amongst those that call themselves Israelites, that are going to dwell with the devouring fire. They are going to be hit with those thermonuclear missiles, and they're going to be burnt up like the scriptures say.
They're going to be stubble.
In Zechariah. Yeah. Like the scriptures say in Zechariah, their eyes are going to melt in their sockets, their tongue is going to dry up in their mouth.
Yeah.
And they're going to get disintegrated, man.
And the thing is, do you think the hypocrites are going to be going into the prophecies like that? They're not. And they don't. We talked about it yesterday. They don't go into the missiles. They don't go into the chariots and stuff like that. That stuff is far and in between. Mm-hmm. The true men of the Lord are constantly going to be going into the prophecies, the playing out of how this kingdom is going to fall. They're going to be going into the things like the MOTB consistently. We mention it damn near every lesson. The lesson don't even got to have nothing to do with it, but it's going to come up.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, MOTB, yeah, all that.
It's going to come up because the true men of the Lord are going to be talking about these things. Our job is to be watchmen unto the house of Israel. We're to warn you. But these hypocrites, they talk about nation building. Elder Nazarba had a beautiful title the other day. He said, you traded salvation for nationhood. Exactly what he's done, man. Mm-hmm. Right now, it's not about. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, it feels good to feel like you belong to something, but there's a mission that comes with the identification. You identify with the scriptures. That's not the end of the story. You continue reading and you see Deuteronomy 28 and 68 is the last chapter in the Bible. It's the fifth book. So there's dozens of other books that expound on our history and what we went through as a nation and what we are going to face in the times that we're in now. And so that's the activating thing that our people should take. They should read and say, you know what? maybe I should be doing this, because this is what, will get, worshiping idols and partying and bullshitting is what got us in this captivity
Situation
and
in
the
the
slavery that
first
we're in
goddamn
now.
place.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
this is what got us in the mess in the first place. But you
yeah.
continue to do those things, which is how we know that you guys are the same spirits that were murmuring in the wilderness. You guys are the same spirits that were killing the prophets. You guys are the same spirits that said, crucify him. Let his blood be upon us and our children. We know those are you guys. So we know at the end of the day, you're going to be destroyed anyway. This isn't about all of Israel. This is about the elect. We went into it yesterday, Romans 11:7. The election hath obtained it. So when you talk about this nationhood, if you truly were reading, you will understand that, hey, majority of our people aren't going to make it anyway. Right now, the focus needs to be offending less. How do I offend less? But that's not the focus with these other congregations, man.
Nope.
Verse 15 is the point I wanted.
Verse 15. He that walketh righteously and speaketh uprightly, he that despiseth the gain of oppressions.
Yeah, we're signing a crime. We despise the gain of oppressions. You're partaking in the gain of oppressions, man. Rap music. Let's use that. It's oppressive to our people. It puts our people in a filthy vibration. We're not supposed to resemble the world in any fashion, but you have groups that put that in the forefront of their ministry and profit from it. So we're supposed to be getting Jake to completely become a new man, but you're giving space to people to bring in parts of their old self within this walk, and it pollutes their whole walk. Because now, instead of understanding what this thing is actually about, they were a SoundCloud rapper in the world, but now they just switched it up. They want their Israelite SoundCloud rapper, and they're still going off and not understanding the prophecies and what this thing is really about.
Even if you want to rap, man, don't use the platform of the truth. You posting on the same YouTube channel that you use to break down, Revelation 13 and 16. You putting a Hebrew and a Hellcat
that you break down wrong
rap video on, man. I'm just thinking of, I know Sakari, they teach the chip.
Sakari does, but these other groups, they'll go into it. They botch it OD.
Yeah.
Sakari, they learn from us, but they're just getting proud. That's all it is.
We learn from the apostles. We all learn from the apostles, man. Let's just get it straight. Unless you knew you were Israelite back in the 90s, okay, you learned directly from the apostles, man. So let's just be honest. From the apostles and elders of GMS, and a lot of people don't give props, where it's due. We gotta give credit where it's due.
Yeah, it gets to the point where all you can really say is, "We'll see."
Yeah. Okay. You got it out. Or did you want me to keep reading? Yeah. I'm finished the verse. Verse 15. He that walketh righteously and speaketh uprightly, he that despiseth the gain of oppressions, that shaketh his hands from holding of bribes, that stoppeth his ears from hearing of blood, and shutteth his eyes from seeing evil, he shall dwell on high.
Yeah. He shall dwell on high, and his place of defense shall be the munition of rocks. Bread shall be given him, his water shall be sure. So those who are speaking out against these things that we just read in verse 15, their bread is going to be sure. They're going to have a safe haven in the time of destruction, and that's what we seek. These niggas are not going to have a safe haven, and if this is who you're learning from and following after, hey man, if you're sincere, make that move. Exit. Walk out the door, man. Because these men are going to lead big portions to destruction and death. They love death, like we read earlier. And that's basically I had. It's almost time for me to go back.
Yeah, no, I
So
mean that's that the point was made, you know what I mean?
yeah,
The point was made, brother, you know.
yeah,
Got
yeah,
some likes
man.
on the comment board, you know. But yeah, I mean, like, well, let's go back to the definition of merit. Oh, maybe we can
Okay, I'll
close
pull it
off
up.
on
I'll pull
that.
it up.
Pull it back. Yeah. Yeah.
Merit,
So merit. Yeah. Yeah. You got it.
spiritual credit for good works,
Mm-hmm.
spiritual reward. I think he wanted the verb.
Yeah, that's
to be entitled to, be or become deserving of,
mm-hmm.
earn a right or incur a liability. You know,
Yeah.
to earn, yield. You know.
Yeah. So, but our people they're entitled to something that is wicked, man. They feel like it's their obligation to teach their version of the truth, which there's only one truth. You know,
That's right.
there's only one amath, man. You know, pure from any other impurities. And so, you know, when you got confusion, when you preach a confusion, that makes it not the truth anymore. That makes it fake, a fake obligation, you know, because you're not obligated to preach heresies. You're obligated to preach the truth, you know, to preach the good news, the gospel. So, you know, that's what we're here to set the record straight for through the Spirit and probably how about Shimei Shai. You got it.
All right. All right. So, you know, that's it. Unless the brother has anything else. All right. So, hey, man, Lord willing, it's edifying that you got something from it. We want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kadash. Want to give double honor in the great millstone. And want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth and sincerity. All right. May the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.
Shalom.